Hey guys, what is going on? This is Travis P11. I'd like to welcome you back to the channel. And today we are taking a look at the Enginstar R350 portable power station. Now, if you've been watching my channel, I've been featuring different items that you can use if the weather gets bad and the electricity goes out, or maybe some options that you can use for camping and so on. So in the nature of full disclosure, let's just get this out of the way right now. I did purchase this from Amazon. This was not sent to me for testing and evaluation. I paid about $191 for it delivered. When you buy these, you really got to watch out because they have coupons that'll pop up from time to time. I did get 10% off this unit, so it was about $180 before sales tax. I did get free shipping on it, but really watch the prices on these portable power stations because there's many times great manufacturer coupons that are going to come out. Just real quick, some of the details you need to know. If you do get the solar panel for this portable power station, the maximum I believe it can accept is 60 or 65 watts of electricity from the solar panel, and that'll take roughly 6 to 8 hours to charge if you have it outside in the sun. It does have a 5-hour charge time if you decide to charge it from the house with the included home charger. 12 volt car port, it'll charge in 8 to 10 hours. And on the right side, it shows you how long it will power the following devices and how many charges approximately you can expect to get out of it. So it is an 80,000 milliamp lithium-ion battery, and it offers many different options for you to power those devices around the home. And again, I purchased this mainly for bad weather, if the electricity should go out. I do some camping from time to time, and there are a ton of options out there on Amazon. So I based this purchase mostly on price, how many watts could I get of electricity and how many milliamps of electricity could I get per dollar, as well as the reviews. And so let's go ahead and take this unit out of the box and take a look at it and see what it has to offer. Okay, so here's how it looks out of the box. It kind of looks like one of those old boom boxes from the 90s, like a CD player boom box. It does have a cooling fan on one side. It does have a lamp and another cooling fan on the other side. On the top, you've got your wireless charging port, and we'll get all those amps and volts and all that stuff out to you here in just a little bit. You do get your home charging brick, which you can use to charge it up from home. That's the North American plug. You've also got your cigarette lighter adapter, so you'll plug this into the input, and this will let you charge the battery from your vehicle or any kind of a cigarette-style outlet or utility outlet. And you've also got what's called, I believe, an MC4 solar charging plug. So this is what you can use. This goes in the input, and these will hook up to your MC4 style plugs for your solar panels. Now, I'm just learning a little bit about this whole solar panel setup, so if any of my information is inaccurate, I want to apologize just off the bat. It does have a nice carry handle on the top, and the unit dimensions are, we are at 7.9 inches by 6.7 by 6.7 inches, and it weighs 6.4 pounds or 2.9 kilograms. You can recharge it up to 1,000 times, which is pretty cool. Operating temperature is 0 to 40 degrees Celsius, which is 32 degrees Fahrenheit to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you're going to be operating in a higher temperature, there's a possibility it could shut itself down, or if the temperature is too low, there's a possibility that it won't work. Now, all the outputs do work with the exception of these AC ports right here while charging. So if you have this plugged in and charging, you cannot use the AC ports for whatever reason, but you do have access to the USB ports, the standard USB ports, the USB-C port, and the wireless charging port up on top. So those will put out power for you. And I do apologize, guys. I am filming this with my phone as I am on vacation right now. So information for you in terms of the outputs, what exactly does it put out? Your AC output, which would be these two plugs right here, is 110 volts at 60 hertz. It is pure sine wave power, so it is clean electricity, so it should not ruin your devices. 350 watts continuous and 700 watts surge peak, but obviously you want to try to operate closer to that 300 to 350 watt range so you don't burn out the unit. Wireless charger puts out 5 volts at 2 amps, 10 watts of electricity. DC output is 2 times 12, 8 amps, 1 times 24 volts, 3 amps, constant voltage. USB-A output, your standard USB plugs right here, are going to be a total of 5 volts and 3.1 amps max. So I don't know if that's 1 amp out of the top and 2.1 out of the bottom, or just total you can only put out 3.1 amps of electricity at a time. I would just try both ports and see if you notice any kind of a difference in the charging time. You probably won't. Down here we've got your newer USB style port, which is nice to have. 5 volts at 3 amps, 9 volts at 2 amps, or 12 volts at 1.5 amps, and 18 watts maximum output. So just keep that in mind if you are trying to charge a laptop or you're trying to charge up other devices. You're gonna have to do a little bit of math and try to figure out what exactly, how many watts total you need versus what these units can actually put out. And the prices of the units are gonna vary on the battery capacity size as well as the amount of watts that they put out. So this being a 350 watt unit with an 80,000 milliamp battery did offer pretty good value at the price I paid, which was again a little under $200. And up on the top, you've got your wireless charging pad. And once we have this all charged up, we'll actually plug devices into it and just see if it works. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and plug it in and let it charge. We'll get this completely charged up to 100%. We'll talk about the display. We'll plug some stuff into it and just see if it works. All right, guys, hang tight. And last thing real quick before we plug it in, before I forget. So this input right here, again, you can use this for your cigarette lighter adapter, which we have right here. And then if you use solar panels, make sure that your solar panels don't charge more than 65 watts. If they do, this unit can't take advantage of that. So try to go for 65, 60 watts or below for solar panels, and they will accept between 12 and 25 volts. So with these camping solar panels that you can use to charge this power station, there's a little bit of consistency that you see with the amount of volts that they put out and so on. But the solar panels, the more watts the solar panels put out, the more you're going to spend on solar panels. Average cost of solar panels for something like this is around $120. And that will allow you to charge the unit basically anytime, anywhere, just as long as you have access to sunlight. Okay, so we plugged it in and we are charging right now. It tells you how many watts of electricity it's taking in, 58.4, 58.8. You got the little battery bar, which is slowly going up. And then the unit itself, this charging adapter itself, can put out a max of 64.98 watts. So it should not go above 65 basically. And like I said, 65 is the cutoff for the input of electricity that you can put into the battery pack to charge it. All right, when we come back, we'll have it fully charged. We'll plug some devices into it and just see how well it works. Okay, so I've turned it off and turned it on a couple times, and I noticed that it did drop down 1 bar. I thought the battery was charged up 100%. We may not be at 100%, but we're not really worried about battery life right now for this initial test. So here's my laptop, and we do have a battery that is in need of a little bit of juice. I'm currently working on the video that you guys are going to watch here, or the video that you're watching right now. We do have the 2 AC ports plugged in. We've got a USB cable plugged in. At some point, I'm going to plug in my phone that we're actually watching this video on right now. And it shows there's a 16 watt, just basically dead draw, and nothing is plugged in. It's just plugs down here. So that's just even kind of a current draw that's happening through those inverters and power bricks and so on, even though nothing's plugged in. So let's go ahead and plug in the laptop and let's see what happens here. We should see that AC number go up. Okay, the laptop battery is showing that it is currently receiving a charge, and it is now drawing. Okay, it's saying 53 watts. Now, this is a 45 watt charging brick, but it also has the dead draw from the other stuff that's plugged into it. So we're drawing about 54 watts right now, 55 watts. Okay, now we also have a Nintendo Switch sitting up on top of here, and I want to apologize, guys. We won't be able to test the wireless charging pad. I'm just going to assume that it works. All the reviews say that the wireless charging pad works fine, so I'm not worried about it. You just drop your phone on the top, and it'll charge it. That's all you have to do. All right, let's go ahead and plug in the AC plug for the Nintendo Switch and get that charging. Okay, that is currently drawing current. It's going up to 69, 70 watts. Remember, we've got around 350 watts total of juice that we can draw from before we really need to worry. So it is currently sending power out, which is cool. I know they got the battery meter here. It'd be cool if they'd have like a milliamp countdown that would just show the number reducing down to 0 from 80,000. That'd be cool if you had like a little gas tank, but they don't do that. And last but not least, the phone that you guys are watching this video on. Let's go and plug it in and see if it'll take a charge. All right, so it's showing that it's not taking a charge, so it may have shut off the power to the USBs. They were saying if you don't plug something into the USBs in the first 20 or 30 seconds after you turn the unit on, that it cuts off power for whatever reason to the USB ports. So let's go ahead and push the power button one time. There we go. Oh, there we go. USB is drawing 5.7 watts, which is the iPhone that I'm currently filming this on. So that is pretty slick. And by the way, to activate the ports, you push the button over here for AC to turn them on. You might hear the fan kicking for a few seconds, but it'll show you AC, and that's how you know that your ports are turned on. So you've got on-off switches for the ports, which I really do like. And last but not least, let's check out that sweet little lamp on the right-hand side. Doing this one-handed, so this is a little bit awkward. There's your lamp. Let's go ahead and turn it on. And there it is. So you've got a nice little LED lamp on the side. You can use to light something up if you need to provide you hours and hours of light. So that is cool. Oh, and it does flash. And it also does, I believe, an SOS pattern too. So if you do any kind of maritime stuff, or if that is still in use, anybody from the ground to the sky or whatever, you can still show SOS if you need to, which is pretty slick. And it turns off. All right, so initial impressions. I am pretty impressed that this does work. It does do what it advertises it says to do. Obviously, I'm not putting any real high, heavy draws on it right now, but there are people that have said they powered a mini fridge off of it, laptop, your radios, your TVs, and so on. it does put out a pretty good amount of wattage. So again, this is the Enginstar. I believe I said it was the R350 or RC350 power station. I want you guys to check it out. They run around 200 bucks. So far, so good. Maybe give you guys an update in a year or 6 months. We'll give it a summer worth of use and see how it runs. But, you know, anybody's got to take some tools out in the field. If you don't have to draw more than 350 watts, you know, you've got some options. Now, even if you do draw more than 350 watts, you can get higher capacity battery, power stations. I've seen these go up to 500 watts, 1,000 watts, and so on. But for what I need, for what I'm going to use it for, just to have a basic supply of power, I think it's going to do a good job. So anyway, guys, that is it. This is Travis. I want to thank you for watching. Again, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Check me out on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, guntube.org, all over the place, Gunstreamer, etc. And we also have a little podcast that we do on Saturday mornings called Caliber Corner, where we talk about guns and ammo and all kinds of other fun stuff. Make sure you guys check it out, 8 o'clock Central Time. We are still charging. All right, so we're going to run this pack down and let all this stuff charge. In the meantime, guys, I want you to have fun, be safe, take care, and as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, guys, bye-bye.